Welcome inside the Hall of Fame. I'm Booker T, six-time world champ, two-time Hall of Famer. Got my man Brad Gilmore here with me. Guys, today is Lazy Monday, okay? That's what I'm calling it. You can call it what you want, whatever you guys want. Today, guys, I'm here inside the Hall of Fame. Get your champagne wishes and caviar drinks. Brad, how you doing, man? How you doing? How you feel coming off this weekend, man?
I feel good. I had a long weekend. You know what I mean? I had people in town. The band was back together. We, 4:30 in the mornings.
Right.
You know what I mean? A couple nights in a row, and then we of course had the reality wrestling show on Saturday.
Yeah.
So I had a busy weekend, but I was good. You know, I mean, I think that sometimes you just need to get a little tired so you can appreciate sleep a little more.
Yeah,
What I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean, man. I have been having like sleepless nights. I've been restless as of late. After playing golf this weekend, I thought I'd come in and I'd be, my norm. Want to just go to sleep, and then I normally sleep all night. But I woke up like 3 o'clock in the morning, couldn't go back. I don't know what it was, man, but just been like that lately. Haven't been able to just get that sleepless night. That sleepful night. Let me see that.
Right, I hear you.
But I'm looking for it, man. I'm looking for it, man. I'm serious.
I
hope I don't get in a fight like that boy Juwan Howard.
Woo! Do you see that, man? Well, here's the thing. Let's talk about Howard for a second.
Hopefully, my sleep deprived this don't lead to something like that. I'm serious, man. Because after this weekend shows, I want to get into a fight with somebody. I want to get into a fight with all my students this weekend. I'm serious, but go ahead.
Well, look. You can't, as they once said, you can't enjoy a sunny day without a few rainy ones, right?
Man, you know that, man. You know that's right.
But Howard, man, what was that all about? Like, I understand he was mad about the timeout, right? We're talking about the Michigan game that went down last night.
I think was it the sportsmanship? I think aspect of it. I mean,
I think he just saw it as disrespectful.
We're getting our ass kicked. Why you want to be calling time? You pressing? You know what I mean? It's all kind of stuff going on at that point in time. But should it have gone that far? That's the question.
Look, here's the thing. I understand getting pissed off when you think the other guys are just rubbing it in your face.
Wait a minute, though. What if it was something said in the squam that we didn't hear that ticked Juwan off?
Well, that could be something. I don't know.
I'm not saying that's what happened. You know what?
Book. Look, here's the thing, though. What? He is the head coach. He is the representative of the organization. He is the role model, and he is the leader for his team. Yeah. Right? Even if you get pissed off by it, I don't mind you cussing the other guy out. I don't mind that at all. You know what I mean? F you, F this, F whatever, right? But to then put your hands on the man, and then what does that tell your players? Coach did it. Let's start throwing some bows. You know what I mean? That's what they said, and that's what they did. And it was just a sad state of affairs, especially at the college level, because those are kids, and kids are easily influenced.
I'm not going to sit here and condone it or anything like that. It was wrong. And you got to be able to hold your temper. That's just not the place to be getting into a fight. The optics, like you say, you're supposed to be there as a leader in that situation, and then the leader just jump off, just start throwing bows. So my thing is this, man. I don't think. Let me say, I don't think. I'm hoping he don't lose his job, but I tell you, a situation like that is definitely warranted for reprimand. Just got to wonder how stiff the punishment is going to be for Juwan Howard, more so than anything.
Yeah. Here's the thing: I wouldn't be surprised in this day and age that people are already calling for his job.
Oh,
that's online today.
People
are calling for it.
You already know that. Yeah, they're already going to be calling for a job. But my thing is, in the heat of the moment. Should it have happened? No. In the heat of the moment, things do happen. Like I say, a reprimand, suspended for perhaps the remainder of the year, losing that money. I think that would be suitable punishment to try to, because he already apologized. He's already apologized. And the thing is, I'm sure, I wouldn't say as soon as he got to the locker room, because he came back to the press conference and doubled down. But so let me just say, I'm sure somewhere along the way he said, "Man, I messed up. Man, I screwed this one up. Man, what the hell was I thinking? So hopefully there again, it won't lead to this man being dismissed from the team.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. Again, I say just in this day and age, you have to be careful because people are going to call for your job on social media, and a lot of these institutions give into that public pressure. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I even heard a couple of Joe Rogan shows came up missing over last couple of days. What was up on that? You hear about that?
I heard about that a few weeks ago that they took down not
the episodes that they took down. His show disappeared for a minute.
Oh, maybe he's taking a break a little bit, little hiatus.
Maybe that's it. I'm just wondering.
Letting the heat cool off a little bit.
Is there heat? You know what I mean? Because it seemed like everything. I mean, I'm just saying it seemed like everything was, everybody was cool with it at Spotify. As far as we're not firing Joe Rogan. I think that's what the statement was. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought, that everything should have been fine as far as
I know, but then he didn't show up at the UFC that week.
Yeah.
Michael Bisping stepped in for him.
And what's crazy is Dana White was quick to squash the rumors.
That's BS. That's what he said.
That's just BS. He could have came to work if he wanted. He totally just squashed the rumors real quick. Like, man, I was like, wow, they just got threw under the bus. What you think that was all about?
I think that that for better or for worse, I don't think Dana White ever plays, politics in the sense of beating around the bush. If he doesn't like somebody, he's going to say it, whether it's good for his business or not. We've heard him criticize his own fighters, right? I mean, he doesn't even have sometimes the tact, in my estimation, to cover for his own fighters. He's like, man, that fight sucked. Tyron Woodley is boring. Like, that's the worst fight we've ever seen. So I wasn't surprised to me. That didn't seem too much out of his character to do, Dana White. So I don't know. I mean, here's the thing. Rogan's a controversial figure. I definitely understand that. He has his political views. I definitely understand that. One thing no one can take away from him is he's a really good UFC commentator.
No, he is. And that's probably
he's really good at that job.
Why Dana White was, ticked off, because he was like, man, his ass was supposed to be at work. Okay, I don't know what he's up to, but right now he's MIA. Seemed like that's where he wanted to go with that statement right there. But nah, man. Hopefully, the fire dim sometime soon for the brother, man. Because I'm gonna tell you, getting put under that light right there, that negative light of being a racist. Everywhere you go, people eyes are on you, and just having that stigma. Especially if you're not, it's not a good thing. That's why this world that we're living in right now is so toxic. I mean, just social media. I mean, I just wish I could see some of the people making some of the negative comments that they make on social media. It's just like they have nothing else to do but be negative, and it doesn't bother me or anything like that. But it just makes me wonder, where has this world gone? Where have we come to when you don't even, it's like when I was watching Car Wash and Richard Pryor, Daddy Rich, he was coming through in his limousine to get his car washed, and Muhammad, he was mad just because Daddy Rich had money and he had women with him, and the women he had with him was the Pointer Sisters. He called them the Wilson sisters. And Muhammad, he said, you come in with these scantily clad women. And Richard Pryor said, hold up, man. You don't even know the Wilson sisters. The Wilson sisters, some of the finest women you ever going to meet. Don't even know them and want to talk about them. That's what I'm talking about. Don't even. I'm gonna drop a little light on you. See, that's what Daddy Rich was saying right now to the haters on Twitter and social media. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a great comparison. I mean,
how you like that right there? Go check that out. Go check that scene out on YouTube. Seriously, Daddy Rich coming to the car wash. It's sweet, man. Daddy Rich say, man, you don't even know the Wilsons. Some of the finest women you're ever gonna meet in your life, and want to talk about them. If I wasn't a Christian man, I'll drop down there and I'll be whooping you. And that's what he said. But check it out, man. One of the best scenes you're ever going to see in movies, man.
Well, hey, Book, we got a lot to talk about today, though. Even though it is a lazy Monday, we got to talk about elimination. Elimination Chamber went down. We saw the first inductee into the 2022 class of Hall of Fame was announced. Big name, huge name, somebody you know very well. So we got a lot to talk about, but I think we got to take a break real quick.
Hey, guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
Being accompanied to the ring by Booker T from Houston, Texas, Gaspar Hernandez.
It is Gaspar Hernandez versus Diego de la Cruz.
If Diego's smart, and remember, guys, this is a former tag team champion, okay? Diego is a great competitor. He should have a...
Oh, my goodness!
Well, I spoke too soon.
Oh, my goodness. And you see Booker T giving instructions, almost coaching Gaspar Hernandez.
That's unreal. Diego, once again, a tag team specialist, man, but right out the gate, Gaspar just took him right off his feet.
I mean, what a vicious clothesline. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my God, no.
Oh, my.
I think I can speak for everyone here, especially with the experience. That hurts.
Booker T just signaling to wrap this up, Kirby.
Absolutely. He's just directing traffic out there. It's now Gaspar. Oh, no. Here he goes. Go for a run.
Oh, my gosh.
That's it. Oh, my God. Wow. Wow, gentlemen. That's all I have to say is wow.
Oh, my goodness. Or actually, to put it in terms that everybody might understand.
Can you dig it, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Booker T along with my man Brad Gilmore. We just talking about a little this, a little bit of that. Of course, you want to talk about the Elimination Chamber. Of course, you want to talk about the Undertaker stepping inside the Hall of Fame. Of course, you want to talk about Big E saying, man, this is totally unexpected being reunited back with the New Day. I didn't see it coming, but here it is, and we're going to do our thing. What are we going to talk about, man? What do you want to talk about?
Well, we can talk about it all. We do have some super chats we can get to first before we jump right in. Before we jump in, Book. Here's our first
super chat.
This is from DJ 1491, who said, I was hoping that Austin Theory would have escaped the chamber and McMahon would have had them ring the bell a la Montreal Screwjob. Well, it didn't happen.
No, but that's a good idea, though. That's a good idea. I was wondering what was going to happen with Austin Theory as well. How we was going to make this kid look good. How were we going to make this kid look good? But that's a good idea. I like that.
Yeah, we'll see. Well, I mean, we got to talk about Austin Theory. They did, put him in an interesting position. He was the last to be eliminated, but we have another one right here.
Super chat.
After Brock and Roman do what they got to do at Mania, do you think AJ Styles, Big E, or Drew McIntyre will get back into title contention?
I mean, I don't think we can keep just going around in circles over and over and over forever, okay? AJ Styles has definitely put himself in position to come up as of late. He's gone out and he's had stellar matches. I said this guy's been sharpening his tools. Seeing like going down to NXT, doing his thing there. And then, on the main roster, I mean, he has been, phenomenal, okay, in a word, as of late. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to be able to stay with Roman and Brock forever. I've said this before, somebody's going to have to step up and step into that picture. Seth Rollins is definitely a guy that I feel like is championship material. All he has to do is just get the ball and, let him run. It's a few guys that's primed and, ready to get in that position. But yeah, it's definitely going to have to go a different way.
There was a interview that I talked about last week with Pat McAfee and Brock Lesnar. And Brock, Pat asked Brock, what do you think this generation needs to do in order to elevate, right? And Brock said, you need to figure out a way to put asses in seats.
Yeah, I can't, I can't say that without getting beat up on the internet. So let's let Brock say it. And then
Brock said it.
I'll, comment on it. Go ahead.
But that's an interesting thing, right? He said, you got to figure out what you got to do. if you got to buck the system, sometimes buck it. I mean, Brock Lesnar, whether you are a fan of his part-time status or his match style or not, you want to see him. He's figured it out. And it's not only because he's a freak show athlete, right? There's been many big guys in WWE over the years, many huge guys in WWE that look like Brock and even bigger. And they didn't make a lick of difference, right? Yeah, Brock has something about him that makes him unique and special. He has figured that out, right? He's figured out how to put asses in seats. Roman put asses in seats. You got to figure it out. Now, it's easier said than done, and I'm sure a lot of these young guys are tired of hearing it, especially from veterans. But it's the truth. You got to figure out what's going to separate you from the rest of the pack, and all the greats did it.
You know what? When I hear you say that right there, you say, Brock's figured it out. He's doing something different. Only thing Brock is doing different is, I talk about it all the time. Brock's been in a real fight before. He knows what it feels like to be in a real fight.
Sure.
All right. So, now doing, making the crossover and then coming back to wrestling. Like I said, I think he got more out of, the first MMA run coming back to the WWE than coming from, collegiate to the WWE. Just because, man, I'm really hurting people now. I got to go over here and really simulate that same feeling in the ring, like with a John Cena, and crack him open. If I crack him, hey, brother, sorry about that. Just one of those things. But I got to be able to bring the realism and bring the pain inside the WWE, just like I did in the UFC. And I think he's been able to walk that thin line where I talk about, you got professional wrestling and you got MMA. You got to know how to be able to balance both and really make the fans feel a certain way. And I think Brock Lesnar has done that perfectly through his throughout his, like I say, his second run, and now this final, I wouldn't say final run, but this last run is definitely been awesome.
Yeah, he's actually, when you say this last run, I mean this, I guess, since when did he come back? At SummerSlam? After I had taken like a year off, he came back at SummerSlam.
That's why I say this last run.
Yeah. I'm thinking like, I always think of Brock's career as two parts. I think of like, 02 to 04, and then what we've seen the last 10 years. But his run from SummerSlam through Elimination Chamber and into WrestleMania, this has been actually, I think, the most compelling Brock Lesnar has been. I mean, we've seen another side to him. He seems to be having an immense amount of fun nowadays, right? When he goes through the curtain, you feel like he likes to be there. He's enjoying what he's doing, and that comes across. He was, I've never, like I told you last week, I'd never seen him so entertaining as I did on that McAfee show. He was funny. He was doing Steve Austin impressions. He was breaking crap in their studio. He was being Brock Lesnar, and it was enjoyable to watch.
No, I mean, I think Brock's been doing this long enough to where he's always knew how to handle one side of it, and that's just going out and take care of the business and being in the ring and performing. And now he has a chance to go out and actually be himself, be that character, make people look at him a little bit differently. Because nowadays, Brock Lesnar is not like the beast coming out of the curtain. He's like the happy beast. And then when the switch get turned on, he take care of his business, but he comes out and he's a likable guy. Like I say, it's like, man, I wish I could sit down and have a beer with, Brock Lesnar, that type of guy, so I get it. And as you do this, you do evolve. If you don't evolve, you find your way out the door. So Brock has definitely evolved over his 20 plus years.
Yeah. I mean, this last run that we just called it, or I characterized it at, he came back in 2012.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this run is literally 5 times longer than the first time he was in WWE.
Yeah.
And he's put in a Hall of Fame effort, in my opinion.
Oh, man, come on, no doubt, man, no doubt.
In this second half,
I think that's a no-brainer. I mean, what he's put in over his time, his body of work. Brock Lesnar is a Hall of Famer. I think even if he didn't do as much as he done, thus far, he still would be a Hall of Famer. The dude's,
you think?
No, man, he's the real deal.
You think though, like if his run ended after those 2 years, he'd still be in Hall of Fame contention?
After the first 2 years?
Mm-hmm.
No. But just think about it for a second. Brock is, WWE did WWE, went to UFC, back to the UFC, back. And I think that's it, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, to be able to do that right there, like I said, his body of work. I mean, you put him in the Hall of Fame, even if he wouldn't have had, I think, this last run. Seriously.
Okay, interesting. We have another super chat in here from Jamal.
Super chat.
I wanted one more Booker match in WWE, but after seeing Goldberg get put to sleep, I'll just continue to watch WCW, WWF Booker T matches. How did y'all react?
Hey, man, I said it. I said Goldberg was a guy that was going to go out on his shield. He wasn't going to, say, man, I'm going to, just phone it in or anything like that. I'm going to go out on my shield. Over 20 years again, Goldberg been in this business, 20 plus years. We never would have thought Goldberg would be in the business in 2022 or in the ring with Roman Reigns. Nobody never saw that. And it was only fitting for Goldberg to go out like that. I mean, if he would have gone out and won the match, of course, we'd be talking about that in a totally different way. But I think to actually go out and put Roman over, let me not say that. Roman go out and beat him in the middle of that ring. That's the way, as a champion, I would want to go out, looking up at the lights and saying, young man, young fella, go on and do your thing. It really is about you. You are the head of the table right now, just like so many guys did for Goldberg back in the day. So many of them.
I know Goldberg talked about flirting with retirement after this match. Leading into it, I saw a couple interviews. Do you think this was it for Bill? This was the last match on his contract, but do you think that's it for him?
Man, I'm going to tell you right now, at what, 56?
Yeah, somewhere in there, 55, 56.
I mean, it's got to be hard. I mean, I was looking at Goldberg. He had put out a tweet before the match, and he was talking about how weary he was just from the flight over, so, and then have to go out and perform and then make that flight back. You just don't realize what that takes out of the body doing something like that. You really don't understand how hard that really is on a young man, let alone someone in their 50s. So if this was Goldberg's last match, I would not doubt him one bit. He's had a hell of a career. Goldberg has done more in this business than I must say, than perhaps he would have believed he would have done. I can almost guarantee that. I really can. So Goldberg, he has nothing to look down upon as far as his career, because he had a hell of a career. Hall of Famer, man. He's a Hall of Famer, and I always wished that interest that Goldberg had back in the day. And that is so freaking awesome. The music. And Goldberg was like the first MMA like type character.
Yeah.
That I know of in professional wrestling. I was having this conversation with Taz one day, and Taz goes, no, brother, that was me. And I go, well, you know what I mean. but for Goldberg to do it the way he did, man, I always wished I could have been in that spot right there. Just one time, man. Guys, stick around. Ain't no Taz in that. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
My name is Nathan Wasser, and I'm from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. I came down here to Reality of Wrestling to improve my training and get myself more experience learning from the absolute best. It's intense. It's hard. You got to leave your ego at the door and come in with an open mind. The way they do stuff here is the next level. But if you do that, you'll end up bettering yourself in the end, and you'll improve, and you'll be able to work anywhere.
Nathan, he's an unbelievably awesome student. I'll tell you why, right? For a few reasons. Number one, the man packed up all the way from the Great White North to move down here to the U.S. to train because he wanted to learn from one of the best. But what's even more impressive, on top of the fact that he takes care of his body, he works hard, is the fact that he was trained by a very reputable trainer and yet still comes down here humble, hungry, ready to work and ready to learn, and not coming in here acting like he knows everything or that he's too rigid in his ways.
Booker's knowledge will help you get to whatever goals you want to do if you want to be a big star in this industry. My end goal is to be in WWE. Coming down here to Reality of Wrestling, I feel is the best opportunity for me to get there, so I'm going to do whatever it takes. I can promise you, when you come to Reality of Wrestling, it will change your life. You will not regret it.
Can you dig it, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys.
He's still
man.
laughing about Taz throughout the whole break.
I wasn't laughing about Taz. I was laughing about Corey Graves' new reality show. I was just
You
looking
saw
at
that.
I was just looking at some pictures that they got posted. I
Did
don't
you
know
see
what
the
it was.
trailer?
No, I didn't see the trailer. Did you see the trailer?
I saw the trailer.
I didn't look.
Well, it looks like a reality show.
Okay.
I can say that. There's a lot of nude Corey Graves,
That's what I thought. Yeah.
which was, a little bit more than,
the part I saw. Yeah.
a little bit more than I would like to see on television. I'm sure that there are a lot of women and probably a lot of men who enjoy Corey Graves from a physical attractive standpoint. I'm not in that class of people. And that was enough for me to be like, maybe not the show for me.
Hey man, just crazy, man. I mean, everybody. I want me a new show, man. Give me a reality show, man. I want something. I want to do something.
Yeah.
Like I get naked. So.
I just don't know if that's the move anymore. You should start an OnlyFans book. That's what you should do. You should do an OnlyFans, a Booker T OnlyFans.
Oh my God, man, it's crazy, man. It's
You remember Shawn Michaels did Playgirl back in the day?
Yeah, I think I do remember something like that. Yeah, I do remember.
He had the WWF title, around his nude waist.
I think he got hurt. He got a big check for that, though, man. I mean,
I'm sure he did.
He got a big check. Yeah.
But I remember, I think it was Scott Hall or somebody was doing an interview at one time, and they said, "Hey, Shawn, more men buy that magazine than women, right?"
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah. Hey man, hey man, equal opportunities. That's the way it is, man.
Yeah.
Hey man, what we talking about, man? What we talking about? Let's get off.
We got more super chats here coming in.
Super chat.
Aaron C says, "Do you think WWE is done with cinematic matches since we no longer have characters like The Fiend, Taker, and Strowman?"
It's a great take on it. It's a great look.
Mm-hmm.
As far as why would you be doing a match like that if you didn't have a character to actually that you want to portray those roles where you could actually make cinematic use, special effects and whatnot. So yeah, I get that. And I thought the cinematic match for everyone just wasn't a good idea. I thought it was a match for people like Taker, people like Steen, like you say, people like Bray Wyatt. I didn't think I thought Taker doing it with AJ was actually pretty cool, but I don't think that's just the average match for the worker.
The Boneyard match is the best cinematic match by far.
We haven't had many though.
We've had like 5, maybe.
5.
I mean, we had 2 with Bray.
Okay.
Right. You had the one with Cena and the one with Strowman. You had Sting's cinematic match in AEW.
Oh, yeah.
You had the Boneyard match, and I think I'm forgetting one. At least 4, though. At least 4. Wait, do you count the Matt Hardy final deletion?
I don't even remember that.
That's where they did it in WWE with the New Day.
No, I don't remember that.
Okay. Well, that's 5. That's the 5 I got. And out of all those,
Well,
Boneyard is the best.
I tell you, the one with Taker is the one that stood out to me, and like I said, I don't think that's a match that could be had just to entertain the fans because it's got to be like a special deal for a special person, and there aren't too many Undertakers walking around. Just
No, there's not.
fact.
There's only one actually, and the only cinematic match that I ever really wanted to see after the Boneyard match was Taker and Sting. Obviously, that's not something that we're going to ever see. But aside from that, I mean, I wasn't really thrilled with the Bray Wyatt Firefly Funhouse thing. I just didn't get it. It didn't work for me personally. I know a lot of people liked it.
But didn't they do a swamp match?
And they did a swamp match with him and
that's that. I remember that one. Yeah, the swamp.
Oh,
match.
and then they did the one with Randy and Bray, the House of Horrors.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that too. Yeah, yeah.
That's the one I was trying to think of earlier.
Yeah. I don't know.
I mean, there's been a few.
Like I said, just not my cup of tea. You do it with certain guys, it works. But then again, I think that was a pandemic thing too. You know what I mean?
It was.
I don't think you could just get it. I mean, why do it if you don't have to? But there again, I thought it could be used with people like the Undertaker, guys like Sting, just because you can go out and get a whole lot more out of, who these guys are from a character perspective, making it like a little cinematic movie. And it's that extra little treat for the show. But I mean, to do that with just a regular guy, I mean, me personally.
I mean, we did a reality wrestling with the Legion match, right? In the abandoned mall. But again, it made sense with the characters. Reality wrestling. It just made sense. So I'm all down for them as long as they make sense. I could see, like, say Goldberg, right? Like you wanted to do some sort of, fight, cinematic movie fight brawl.
Like some UFC thing or something.
Maybe. Or like,
Man, come on.
I don't know.
Get over it, bro. Get over it.
I'm not all for
Let Goldberg retire. Okay. Let the man retire.
Okay, he can retire.
Okay.
He can retire. He can do it. Okay.
I mean, why
look, hey.
Why you gotta keep trying to bring guys back?
Book, it's over. All right.
Okay.
It's over. Don't get hot about it.
I'm just wondering.
Look. It's okay.
I mean, I know you're a fan of Goldberg. I know you got.
I like Goldberg.
But people have lost their jobs marking out over people.
I'm marking out.
I'm just saying. Super chat.
Let me cut you off. Brian with the $2 says Taker versus Rhodes at WrestleMania can be a complete sellout. I think Taker's done. Right? Taker's done. I mean, you don't think Taker's done.
No, like I said, I think Taker's going to have a match one day. I mean, he may come back and do something. I mean, we got Stone Cold coming back after 20 years. So, Taker versus Rhodes. You know what? There would be a sellout. People would pay to see it, but I don't think that's the match that Taker would be wanting to come back to have just to get a sellout. They need to go get that sellout somewhere else. I would be thinking. But Cody Rhodes coming back into the WWE. I'm gonna tell you, man, it would be a big moment. We were just talking about this last week, and we were talking about how big with this moment being. We was talking about is, me personally, I would say we would be getting Cody back. We wouldn't be getting the AEW guy. Brad looked at it from a slightly different perspective. Yeah. Am I right, Brad?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. And but my thing is this: either way you look at it, it's going to be a moment.
Yeah.
Either way. I mean, whether you look at it my take, you look at it Brad's take. Either way, it's going to be a moment. And when you get a moment, I've said it many, many times. It may come one time only, and it could be gone like that. So you got to take advantage of it. So yeah, I agree. Yeah.
I think that it's funny they talk about a sellout at WrestleMania. There's some narrative online that WrestleMania is slow on moving tickets, and I heard them be like, well, they've only sold 40,000 for each night. I'm like, okay, so they've sold 80,000 tickets, and they only have 2 matches announced. I say that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I say that's pretty good. You know what I mean? So I think we'll be okay. We have
It's sad.
What's sad?
People. There's only 40,000 tickets sold per night. Wow. I mean, they're really dropping off. It's just amazing how people just want it. I posted, a video of the 2K22. I mean, 22 game coming out, WWE 2K, and I saw a tweet say Booker T just kissing up to WWE, posting their video games. I'm in the video game. And I'm like, what are you thinking? But it's just like people are so stupid, man. I can't handle it, bro.
That's really dumb. I didn't see that. That's hilarious.
It's dumb. It's just dumb. You know what I mean? I'm like, wait a minute. I work there. Okay. Why wouldn't I post it? I want to get some royalties on it. So hopefully you'll go out and buy it. But it's amazing, man, how stupid people are, man. They're just dumb. Like you said, they're just dumb.
Again, people just look for reasons to complain. That's all they do.
You know what? I think people look for a reason to just post, just to comment. I think that's what it is. They just look for a reason to post, comment. And the thing is, I hate to keep harping on this, man, but this social media thing, man, I'm so glad I wasn't a kid. My daughter right now is definitely having to go through this, but they go out of their way to post something negative.
Mm-hmm.
And my mother always used to tell me, if you ain't got something good to say about somebody, just don't say something. Just don't say anything at all. And it just amazes me how those little bitty thing people, take for granted. Just don't take it at all. It's amazing.
And it's also like, and I don't like to point out negative comments even in our little chat that we have here on the show, but like when we were talking about Goldberg, somebody just, they put in there, only reason they use Goldberg is he just wants the money. I'm like,
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Yeah. But the thing is,
last I checked, this is a job that people get paid for.
But that's some young person who hadn't gotten to that point that don't realize that when they get to that point, they're going to want the money too.
Yeah.
That's what they really don't understand. It seems like people are so I don't know, I'm confused as far as life goes, especially a lot of young people. Like they're never going to get to my age, and they're going to be young forever. They're going to be posting stupid stuff, forever. So it's just amazing. I want to help them to the game, because one day they're going to be on social media and they're going to be wondering, man, why do people hate me? Because I'm old. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, if you get old and you looking good like me, you know what I mean? Talking about the shine and the gloss. Look at it. Look at the new line.
Looks good. Looks good.
Check out the new lines.
You did it yourself.
Yeah, I did it myself. When you're looking good like that, man, it's all about the shine and the gloss, man. We got to take a break, guys. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute. You're worth it.
For 13 years, the King of Solar Screens has been an industry leader, and we proudly use 100% American-made products. Home of the $55 any size, any color solar screen.
Well, what about arches?
$55.
What about circles?
$55.
What about rectangles?
$55.
Any size, any color, installed free. The King of Solar Screens, on time, every time.
Now, can you dig that, sucker? Can you dig it, sucker? Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Got any more super chats over there?
We do. We do have more super chats. You just can't escape them.
Nah,
you can't get rid of them. They're good. I like it. Here we go. Our next one is from, as I pull it up here, Callie Toenail. What's up, Callie? Didn't I tell y'all last year what Brock was going to do? And it would be title for title or unification at Mania with Roman. I said it last week. It was just a match. Goldberg didn't have a chance. That is what we're looking toward. We're looking toward that right now, Book. I mean, if we can go ahead and talk about it, I guess, the Elimination Chamber went down, and Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Yes.
And the main event was the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship. Brock Lesnar walked out the victor, which is going to set up him and Roman Reigns title for title. But first things first, really, is when you go to the Elimination Chamber, you got to talk about Bobby Lashley. Bobby Lashley lost the title, but more importantly, it looks like he's on the shelf for a couple months. Friend of the show, Kazim, actually, or Kaz, went out on his show and talked about how Bobby is having shoulder issues. And I don't know if you remember the match with him and Brock at a Royal Rumble, because I know you were there, but I think that you didn't get to see the full thing, right?
Right.
Brock, Bobby's, Brock does the Germans a lot, and Bobby started taking them really weird, right?
No,
he was like,
going sideways.
he was landing on one side.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember going like, well, that's a weird thing. And I was talking with Kevin, our producer and director of Reality Wrestling. We were texting about it. And I was like, I wonder if Bobby's hurt the way he's taking those Germans, and then lo and behold, here he is, shoulder surgery. What do you think about this?
Hey, man, it's not a matter of if, you're going to get hurt, just a matter of when. I tell you, when it happened in the match, I was kind of wondering what was happening, because Bobby was pretty much out of the picture there for quite some time. And then to find out it's something that's legitimate. One thing about the shoulder, man, especially if it's a rotator problem, it could be feeling fine one day, and then the next day, boom, you can't raise your arm.
Right.
It's one of those type of things. I don't know if he took a bad bump on it or something like that. I don't know if it was a dislocation or whatever, but for them to be talking about he's going to be on the shelf now, what, 4 months, 6 months?
4 months, they're saying.
4 months seem like, a rotator cuff tear or something like that. So definitely he's going to be down, but I'm sure he's going to be back in the game pretty soon. I just hate it had to happen like that. I don't know if it would have changed the outcome of the match or anything like that. But definitely, I do still think Bobby's going to be in play with WWE for the next at least 3 years.
I hope so. And speedy recovery wishes to Bobby Lashley. I hope that he can still make WrestleMania. He is a genetic freak, so maybe he can rush back from surgery, but not too fast. I want to make sure that he's good to go. He's now no longer the WWE champion. And there was this thing going on social media talking about, Brock is now not only the WWE champion again, he has beaten for the WWE championship every African-American man who's held the title. And people were making a big deal out of that. He beat Rock, Kofi, Big E, and now Bobby. Do you put any stock into that? Because that was a really big topic people were talking about online.
Well, he's beating every white guy too,
That's what I said. Thank you. Logic. Where's my air horn? Logic.
That's not even a conversation that should be had. I mean, that's stupid. That's what I mean. People want to bring
Brock
race.
was getting attacked for it.
People want to bring race into. He beat the black guys and he beat the white guys too. But just because he beat the black guys is a problem. I mean, what color do you want them to be? He'll beat them too. Okay, so it just makes no sense, to make that a conversation, for that to be something on Twitter thrown around from a negative perspective about Brock Lesnar, making him a racist now, because I don't even know if that was the conversation, making him a racist or anything, but that's what it sounds like.
It was inferred.
So that right there, again, it's dumb for that conversation. That's what social media really, really sucks. That's what it's really, really a bad thing for something like that to be made, talk, because it's stupid. Yeah. No. I mean, he beat them all, and he beat them all convincingly too.
And really, he didn't beat Bobby straight up. By the way, I mean, Bobby had his injury. Now he beat the hell out of everybody else in that chamber.
Yeah.
He didn't do anybody in that chamber any favor.
What about those guys? What about those guys? It's just crazy, man.
The other 4 white guys in the match.
No, but I'm glad to see it actually is going to happen, though. I mean, Bobby versus Roman,
Brock?
Because I'm sorry, Brock versus Roman. I'm looking forward to seeing that just because I've been talking about how good Roman is, for quite some time, and I think Roman matches up with Brock perfectly. He's not the uh, ex-collegiate wrestler or anything like that. He's not the UFC fighter, but I'm gonna tell you, you can look at Roman Reigns and tell he's all man, 100%. Okay, and that's the dude in the bar that don't mind, that's having a Jack and Coke, and you say something wrong to him, and you just next thing you know, I'm serious. That's the type of guy that Roman, appears to be to me. And that dude right there, man, he'll fight anybody. He'll fight anybody. So I'm looking forward to seeing how this thing play out because uh, this is a moment for Brock, really, because the young lion in this match is Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
And this
beautiful.
will be their third WrestleMania match against each other. You don't really see that too often, a trilogy of matches. I think we saw it last with let's see, Triple H and Undertaker had it, and then Rock and Stone Cold.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's pretty interesting to see Brock and Roman. Now, what do you think of it being, champion versus champion, title for title? Do you like that added onto it?
I do. I just, hope to have a definitive victor at the end of the night. Maybe they need to put this match, maybe give it another stipulation, inside the steel cage when nobody can get out. Something like that.
That's interesting. I like
Yeah.
that.
No, I mean, just so the people that's going to buy that ticket know that it's going to be a definitive finish at the end of the night. People going to walk away going, "Man, good God, there was something that was totally, awesome." So my thing is this, man. I like the stipulation. I just hope it can. I just hope it play out right.
Yeah, I mean, I personally I understand why WWE has two world titles or a world title, universal title, two top champions, I should say. I get it for touring, for SmackDown, Raw, branding perspectives, but I like it better when there's just one champion, right? Like
Yeah,
there's no question of who the top guy is.
my thing is this. I don't think. I think, like I say, man, it's so many things that we could do if you was to do something like that. For me, the guy that wins it, Roman, Brock, be that as it may, it doesn't matter. He's going to be double. It's going to be dual champion. It's going to be a history making moment. We're going to do the photo op. Everybody's going to get their pictures taken and everything and whatnot. But then that one title, he's going to have to, he can't defend both of them. One of them is going to have to go up in a tournament, and somebody's going to come out the victor. And who's that new champion going to be? Something like that for me is so appealing to be able to actually create a tournament of champions for the championship would be something huge. So for me, it's a lot of options we got here.
You wouldn't want them just to unify the titles?
No,
Just have one world champion.
Think about
Not
it.
two,
Think
just
about
one.
Just think about it, a tournament with brackets
A tournament is cool. I get that, but just
for the vacated, WWE championship, because he's going to want to be the universal champion because it's everything. But the vacated WWE championship, a tournament with brackets with the best the best of 18, and go out here and see exactly who the best in the business is. We can crown a new, like a Austin Theory for the first. That's what I'm talking about. I'm trying to create a star here. And you just can't create, a star with one guy running around with both of the titles.
well, no, that's why I say there's one guy with the one title. If there's one world championship, every other title is elevated because of that. The IC title means more. The US title means more. And it can really be the second title. I just don't like all the world champions.
You got two brands.
Yeah, but back in the day when they won the world title, they'd go between brands.
Do you know how much work that is for the champion?
It's a lot. That's why I said I understand why they have two. I said that.
Way too much work for one man to have to deal with. It's way too much work to have to go defend.
They used to do it.
I mean, do you know how men were made back in the day?
So you're saying this generation couldn't do it. You're saying this generation's too soft.
Back
You're
in the
saying the
day,
locker room is weak. You're saying if it was Booker T, he could do it. But Austin Theory, he can't do it.
Made with cold rolled steel back in the day, baby. American made. You know what I mean? It was a difference. It was a difference. Eh? Those are your words. Those are your words.
That's what you're saying. I'm just translating for you.
When they post it on social media, make sure they say Brad Gilmore said, because I want you to get roasted sometime.
Hey, I get it sometimes.
When they cut to, blow up negativity, you know what I mean? So go ahead, say it again.
Booker T said these words. Transcriptors out there, make sure you give the quote to him.
See that? That's when you run scared. That you can tell when somebody. You can tell when somebody's scared.
Who are you looking at?
Don't worry about it. Stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We'll be back in a minute.
He misses. Landing on the pile of chairs below. And now, it is the Bears' time to wield the steel. Oh, hold on. No. Looking for that Davison driver.
No.
On the chairs. What?
That's what I was afraid of.
Wait, he's not done though. He is not done.
Is he going to do it? Is he going up top?
Come on.
We've seen him do this in recent weeks.
Come on.
Looking for that 360 frog splash. On the chairs. 1, 2, 3. Ryan Davison wins the match.
Wow.
Ryan Davidson picking up the victory here, and there's a reason why he is the cornerstone of the row. There's a reason he is the final boss, and Say Scott just...
Can you dig it, sucker?
Shoot. Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Just doing it, man. Just doing it here on Lazy Monday. Appreciate the comments coming in today from you guys, man. Getting your champagne wishes and caviar dreams, man. What else we got, man? What else?
All right, we got one from TJ Boss Life, who said Brock and Kurt rivalry in 2003 was Brock's best work. His matches with Kurt were 5-star matches. WrestleMania 19 was a classic. You can't go wrong with Kurt Angle most of the time. So it doesn't surprise me that people thought that his work with Brock was the best.
No, both of those guys were the real deal, man. And, to see them both go out there and, point, counterpoint from a wrestling perspective, of course it was going to be awesome. Kurt was one of the guys that from that sport, collegiate wrestling or any other sport, Kurt came in and picked up professional wrestling quicker than all of them. And I think Kurt put more damage on his body in 10 years than most wrestlers did in 20. I'm serious. That's how hard that dude worked out there in the middle of that ring every night, man. You had to push yourself if you was in. I remember working with Kurt, and I was so nervous about working with Kurt Angle because I knew this might be the one guy that could blow me up. All right, and I said I'm going to go out and I'm going to match him, blow for blow, move for move, point for point, just to show him how good I am, as well as, he can't leave me in the dust. And I was so nervous about working with Kurt Angle just because that right there alone, you got to be at the top of your game with somebody like Kurt Angle.
Absolutely. Jamal Bryant said, any insight on where Asuka, Finn Balor, or Cesaro are at? Do you know anything, Book? Any inside information?
You know what, man? I don't. I do know. I know the last time we saw Finn Balor, I know it was something. Well, what was the latest with Finn Balor last time we?
I know he went back to Ireland for a little while, and there was a rumor that they kind of weren't feeling him in his position on the main roster.
Exactly. Like
they'd lost confidence.
He's not the flavor of the month anymore. Let's just say it like that. Yeah, I remember that. And Asuka, and I don't know where Asuka is, and who's the other one?
Cesaro.
The most underutilized, the most underrated talent, I think, we got out there right now. I don't know where these guys are right now. I don't. But one
I
thing,
think Asuka's on the shelf. I think she has injury.
No, that's what I was just going to say. One thing I could tell you guys, rest assured, WWE don't pay people to sit at home. Okay. Normally, when you don't see somebody, they're normally injured, not hurt, because you could work hurt every week. But when you're injured, you're going to be sitting at home. And that's normally when you don't see somebody when they got something nagging them. That's the only thing I can think about that.
Here we go. Another one from TJ Boss Live. WWE needs legitimate heels. Scott Hall, NWO, DX, Big Boss Man, Undertaker, Eric Bischoff, Stephanie McMahon.
And the list goes on.
List goes on.
List goes on.
The beat goes on.
As far as heels go, as far as baby faces go, back in the day, the guys knew, who the heels were, and they knew who the baby faces were. And the guys that were playing those roles, they knew as well. And to just like, just like, for instance, a guy like JBL, all right? JBL is a guy he's not finna go out and do any moves or anything like that. He's not coming off the top rope, doing anything spectacular, but you knew you hated him. You knew you hated him. He came in with that limo with the bull horns on the hood, and you knew you hated JBL. I remember one time they wanted to get JBL a T-shirt, and he went to Vince and said, "Vince, no, don't do that. You know what I mean? I don't need a T-shirt, okay?" And they go, "Why?" "Because I'm a heel." And you're not going to get too many guys that really know their role enough to where they're going to tell the boss, "Don't get me a T-shirt,"
which is money out of his pocket.
Money out of his pocket, but he knows what his role is, and to have fans out in the arena with his shirt on, that means they're backing him. 9 times out of 10, they're going to be cheering for him, and that's something that he did not need. We need more guys like that in the business. It's a real heel.
JBL, when he would say, "I'm a wrestling god," it used to piss me off every time he said that. You know what I mean?
He didn't do any wrestling.
He didn't do any wrestling.
Exactly.
He had a clothesline and a power bomb.
He was like a Texas brawler that went out, and you knew he was in a fight. You knew he wasn't scared.
No.
You knew that. You knew when he came in the ring and took his cowboy hat off, he was ready to fight. Ever since Justin Hawk Bradshaw, Global Wrestling Federation, he's been that dude, man. He was a babyface back then and morphed into what he became, but he always knew his role, and that's what we need more in this business to keep it alive. I really
let me say this about JBL too. Going back to the Brock Lesnar quote about figuring out a way to put asses in seats. Him as Justin Hawk Bradshaw didn't really move the needle. Honestly, didn't do much. The APA, okay, we're getting somewhere, right? But then he broke off in singles, and he was just Bradshaw from the APA.
John Bradshaw Layfield.
Yeah, but then he cut his hair. He became JBL, and he found a way to put asses in seats because John Bradshaw Layfield's JBL's run as the world champion on SmackDown for that year, it was some great work.
Some good work.
There's some really great work, and a lot, not a little, a lot of classic matches came out of that. Memorable matches.
And he wasn't the classic worker.
No.
But a lot of classic matches came out of that work. And that's what, we was talking on the show, and I think you was asking me about, Roman Reigns. And I was talking about the intangibles. I remember one of the comments said, he said a whole lot, but he didn't explain anything. That's what JBL is. There again, guys, it's like the wind. You can feel it, but you can't touch it. You know the guy's good, but you just don't even know why. You hate him. Just say, for instance, as a kid, that's 15 years old, and now you're 40. You go, man, that guy, man, I hated him when I was a kid. But now you realize why you hated him, because he really made you feel a certain way. And like I say, man, I really feel like that's what the business is needing more than anything, like Brock Lesnar said, guys knowing what it means to put asses in seats. You have to actually go out and do it a certain way and make people feel a certain way in order for them to do that. Bad Bunny, he just sold out a concert here, and I think he's going to be coming back during Minute Maid Park, and he got 2 nights there, and he's going to be selling it out. He know how to make people move, man. He make people feel a certain way when they see him. So that's what the business is all about, young people. Learn that. You definitely can make some money.
Let's get through some of these here quickly. Roland Carter says Taz was choking out wrestlers in bingo halls with the Taz mission back when Dana White was involved in just boxing. Before Suplex City, there was T-Bone Tazplex, German Tazplex, Taz Mission Tazplex. All right.
Look here. I'm not refuting what Taz said to me that day. Like I say, we were having a conversation about Goldberg, and I was just like, man, Goldberg is like the first guy to do MMA, professional wrestling. Go Taz. No, brother. That was me. Okay, let me give you props. So I was just trying to make a point more than anything, not taking away anything from Taz, the Taz Mission, the Tazplex, or the Taz, whatever. What the other was what?
The T-Bone Tazplex, the Taz Mission Tazplex, the German Tazplex.
Exactly.
Tazplex City.
Props to the Tajikajame.
The Katajame. Taz Mission.
Props to all that.
That was he should have kept it called the Katahajime. So much cooler.
Man.
Okay, here we go. People who don't like Brock winning so much. Brock was supposed to get the keys to the company, but he left in 2004 at the height of his run. Yeah, Brock left when he was still like the guy, and now he's come back and he's done a better run than before. So it is what it is. We have another one. Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm just finna say, man, I'm not finna hate on whoever these people want to put in position to, be their guy. I mean, come on, if they want Brock to be the guy. My thing is, who's more believable than Brock Lesnar?
There's not a single person.
That's all you got to. I mean, do you want to run up against Brock Lesnar or Sami Zayn?
Give me Sami Zayn. Like, I would feel okay against Sami Zayn.
Look here, bro. Sami Zayn put in some damn good work this week, man. Let me get.
He's one of the best right now.
Sami Zayn went out there and took that title away from Shinsuke Nakamura, and I tell you, that was one of the best matches I've seen on television in quite some time. To where you just knew the guy wasn't going to win, but Sami Zayn came in there laughing at the beginning all the way through that match to the end, and he put out a hell of a amount of endurance as far as showing the world how good he really is in that match. I swear, man. And I don't watch matches like that all the time, but just sitting there watching him and Shinsuke, man, those guys really brought it this week. I just want to point that out more than anything.
Yeah, absolutely. That is, let's see. Cali Toenail says Roman loses and Brock and Bobby begins at SummerSlam. Would love to see that. We'll see what happens. Book. TJ Boss Life again said one title only works now because it's so much less talent. WWE having that huge farming system backfired. Too many wrestlers who were never on TV.
That's a point taken as far as not enough talent. But I can almost guarantee you when you start naming them off, you're going to realize there's more talent there than you think.
Yeah.
To actually be able to put in a certain position. I think you might be right as far as that farm league and bringing those guys up the way they did in NXT and expected them to be stars when they came over. I thought that perhaps may have been a mistake, just because having worldly skills, having worldly talent on the roster, guys that's perhaps been out drinking a few beers and chasing a lot of women, they may know how to go out and act a little better in situation. I'm just saying. So yeah, you might you might be right in that aspect right there. We do need more stars. 100%. Guys, stick around. You're in the Hall of Fame. We still got a whole lot to talk about. I'm cooking some pepper steak I got to check on. We'll be back in a minute.
So when I think back of my time on the Independents, I was there for a long time. I was busting my ass for 15 years on the independents before I made it to WWE. And for a long time, for I would say 95% of those 15 years, I had no idea if WWE even knew who I was, you know? So I had no contact with them, no any kind of hope that I was going to make it here. I had hope, but I had no reason to believe that I would, except for my own belief in myself. But the independent was crucial in keeping that passion alive, you know, and it didn't matter if it was 20 people, 200 people, 2,000 people. On the independent scene, you get to have this interaction with fans and the fan base that's unlike anything, you know. The scope of WWE, we get to interact with our fans, but nothing like on the independent scene. You're out there selling your own merch, you're out there hustling, trying to make as much money as you can, and that whole experience really kept my passion for wrestling alive, even though I didn't know if it was going anywhere. I wouldn't be who I am without that time I spent on the independent, so it's crucial for anybody, I think, to have that time.
Perfect.
Can you dig it, sucker?
Welcome back inside the Hall of Fame, guys. Sitting here just playing, man, on my phone, man, just doing what these young folks do this day, man. Always playing on their phones and stuff like that. Can't get the phone out of the hand. It's like an extension. You know what I mean? It's like it's hooked to the hand. You know, today I said I'm starting something totally new. When I work out in the gym now, no cell phone. Throughout the day, I at least, you know, at certain points of the time, I just put it down. Don't even look at the cell phone. I swear, man, you can get caught up. You can get caught up with that cell phone. I'm serious. I mean,
you can.
I mean, it's almost like if it's not in your hand, you feel like you're missing something sometime. If you just put it down for a minute and check your watch time and see if you can make it go down. I'm gonna tell you, you'll feel a whole lot better about yourself. Seriously.
Jerry Seinfeld has a bit of says, you know, nowadays when your phone starts to die, you feel like you're dying with it.
It's true.
Like, oh
I'm serious.
God,
That's true, though.
I can't make it. I can't make it.
If your phone get down to 5%, you about to show me about to lose her damn mind. I'm serious.
Yeah, you get nervous. You know, I do say put the phone down as much as you can. But if I can get a cheap plug in here, actually, real quick, don't put it down until you go to Amazon and you order my brand new book, James Bond, Exploring the Shaken and Stirred History of Ian Fleming's 007. You know what I mean? Copies on the way to you, by the way, book. But make sure that you go pick it up. Hey, we have get it. Look at that. It's a beautiful book. Go get it. We have a couple more super chats here, though. Positive vibes only. Will Hobbs shouted out Harlem Heat on Instagram.
You know, Will Hobbs, that's my boy, man. I must say, I'm one of Will Hobbs' mentors. He always come to me, and you know, just to talk, just to get a little bit of knowledge. Always represent Harlem Heat. I appreciate that more than anything, man. I appreciate that young brother coming to me for knowledge as far as trying to weave his way through this game. And the thing is, I ain't gonna steer him in the wrong direction. I'm gonna make sure I try to steer him in the right direction. Right now, he's doing everything right, and that's going out there and beating the hell out of somebody. And you know, like I always say, just be able to keep up. That's all I need you to do. Just be able to keep up. He's doing a hell of a job. And congratulations to Will Hobbs for just sticking this thing out, man, because he's a kid that's been out there for a long time on the independent circuit, just knocking on the door, and finally got a break. So congrats to that kid, man.
All right. We got a ton of super chats, so let's try to get through them quickly here. Positive vibes only. AEW's upcoming pay-per-view in March will feature a ladder match with their three big men, Wardlow, Will Hobbs, and Keith Lee. Yeah, that should be interesting. Interesting to see a big guy.
Speak on that for a second. I was reading an article today, and it said, it was e-wrestling news, actually. It said, Booker T said AEW has too many gimmick matches. I don't speak like that. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that you ever said that.
I don't speak in those terms as far as AEW having gimmick matches. Okay, I didn't say that at all. And they should put up a retraction. That's e-wrestling news. They should put up a retraction because I didn't say that. But what I did say, I thought they could benefit a whole lot more having those matches like they had, you know, with Hangman Page. just last week when they went off the air on their pay-per-views, and people might look at it and really want to. After they see that pay-per-view, I know their juices will be flowing to actually watch the TV show. That was my point more than anything, as far as AEW goes, and them having those type of matches. There again, I'm not going to try to book anybody's show. I just was trying to point out those matches could be beneficial as far as really making people tune in to see what AEW is all about.
Absolutely. Roland Curtis says, are you sure that Roman or Brock would give up the WWE world title? Of the 2 men's world titles and the 2 singles women's world titles, only one was established 59 years ago in 1963. The other 3 were established only 6 years ago in 2016.
I don't think it's going to be about Brock. It's about the show. That's what a lot of people don't understand. It's about the show. It's about trying to keep this show going in a direction, because it's 52 weeks out of the year. To be able to book a show and create angles and stories 52 weeks out of the year, with just one guy going back and forth, I think it would really be hard. I could be wrong. Maybe he wouldn't want to give up the title. Maybe he feel like, man, I'm not going to give him up, man. I'm not. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to be the case. At the end of the day, it's about trying to create some good content. Yeah.
All right. We also have one from Kid to the Kraz, who says, hey, Book, I'm training in Georgia. Do you have any advice for an upcoming rookie? I have some advice. Come train at Reality of Wrestling.
Training in Georgia, huh? Mr. Hughes, maybe Mr. Hughes.
Maybe Hughes, yeah.
Mr. Hughes has a school down there in, I think, Atlanta. And always got good product from Mr. Hughes every time they would come through. Aiden Cristiano is one of my Mr. Hughes originals from way back in the day, and he's still with me.
Kiera Hogan,
definitely. So definitely, he's a guy that could teach you if you're in the Georgia area, or you can make that trek to Reality of Wrestling and see what it's all about. We produce the finest in professional wrestling, and we're just a small little company down in Texas City, but we work real hard for our athletes down there. So check it out.
TJ, the Boss Life again. The women's division was better during Bayley's heel run. Division has been dead since she been gone.
Not just come on now. Let's just think about it. I mean, not. Bayley wasn't the hallmark of the women's division. It was an abundance, a plethora of talent, when that women's division, when that women's evolution kicked off, man, they had at least 12 girls that you could name off that were relevant as far as being championship material. And I could be wrong, but I do remember just a couple of years talking about the men's roster and the female roster and how competitive they were. So I think that's what it was, man. I think there again, man, stars going off, having babies, getting married, getting engaged, stuff like that. The Bella twins, aging out, all kind of stuff, going on as far as the women's division go, man. But I think at one point it was strong, but women are different than men, and we're realizing that in the game right now, because they do want to have a family, and that could change the whole name of the game as far as our female superstars go.
Yeah, absolutely. Callie Toenail said, did Lash and Whooped Mouth scar you for life? I know you forgave him, but do you like cats now, and do you ever go back and see him again?
Oh my God, man. I don't know what my brother told that story at. It was Wop Mouth.
Wop Mouth.
Wop Mouth actually this guy who used to be at this place out in Pasadena. What my brother and I used to go race his cars, and he talking about. I don't even want to talk about the cat incident, man, because I don't even know. I don't know what my brother was even able to tell that story and didn't get blocked. Kicked off a platform or something, but no, I am still scarred from that the cat incident. I definitely talked to you about it, Brad, off the air.
Yeah,
but, I am still scarred.
We have Connecting People Through Wrestling says Reigns versus Lesnar. Heyman as a special guest referee. The money shot is Heyman pinning either Brock or Roman. Imagine him counting.
You know, see that I wouldn't want to take this match to a comical place at all. You know, and I love my my comedy and wrestling. I love my points were you know that part of the show. You know, it has you have that part of the show, but for someone like Brock, someone like Roman, I would never want to taint those guys with ha ha. You know, and a lot of times, you know, ha ha is perfectly fine for certain guys. Even ha ha is perfectly fine for someone like Brock outside of the ring. Ha ha was perfectly fine for me outside of the ring, but I never, I don't think you could ever remember me doing ha ha inside of the ring, and I just don't think it fits for these two guys having someone like Paul Heyman, you know, as special guest referee.
Yeah, I agree. TJ Boss Live said the women's roster was better than the men's, but they let the momentum go. That happened on Stephanie's watch.
You know, I don't know whose watch it happened on, and you can, you know, anybody can look to blame somebody. That's very, very easy. But I'm looking to try to, you know, I'm looking for the solution. I'm looking for, you know, trying to get as many, you know, young women out there in the business right now to move up. Hopefully I can get them there and they understand what the business is really about. And it really is truly about going out and giving you fans the ultimate thrill ride, making you guys believe in something that that's professional wrestling, but that's your outlet. That's what take you to that certain place. And I really don't think you learn it unless you're taught it, unless you've been one of these guys out there on the road. Just like in the commercial break there, you show a guy like Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens on the road 15 years, not even know if he was ever going to make it to the WWE, not even knowing if he was on their radar, if they knew who he was. But he was still out there working on his craft. And you look at Kevin Owens in the middle of that ring right now, and you go, damn it, that's a grown-ass man. You know, let me buy a ticket because that's who I want to see tonight, KO. I think there again, on-the-job training, that's what he got. I just think we need more of those. I think we need more of those type of guys. I think we need more trainers like myself, more guys like Kevin Owens being able to spit knowledge to these young guys, tell them, hey guys, fall in line. This is where we're trying to go. We just need more leaders, more generals inside that locker room, like it was, you know, back in the day. Not saying that it isn't right now, but generals that's definitely been on the battlefield, been in the trenches, know what it's like to hold the line. That's another story. Hey, we got to do more super chats, man.
Yeah, we have one more. You have a great women's division. I have to give you credit.
Hey, man, I appreciate it, man. In reality of wrestling, we work our asses off to try to make sure all of our girls are put in a certain position. We got the inaugural Sherry Martel Classic coming up with some of the finest women you ever going to see in your life, just like Richard Pryor said, like Daddy Rich said, some of the finest women you ever want to see in your life coming up in Dallas, Texas, going down on April the 2nd. Don't miss out. Don't get shut out. If you can't buy a ticket, guys, go to realityofwrestling.com because it's going to be aired somewhere live. It's going to be on Fight TV live. So, guys, make sure you check it out. Show up because we're going to show out. We got to get. What you got to say, Brad?
Money in the Bank should be back at Mania. I could be wrong. We'll have to talk about it on Wednesday. We got to talk about the Undertaker, Big E. We didn't talk about any elimination chamber.
You know what, man? It's because of the super chatters, man. We appreciate you guys, man. We love you guys. Thanks for making the Hall of Fame your spot, your one-stop shop to get a little bit of entertainment. Brad, as always, man, I appreciate you. All you super chatters, back same place, same time on Wednesday, doing it big. But right now, peace. We out.
Can you dig it, you sucker?